one. I did not get a video up yesterday. I think that was the first day I didn't put one up in maybe like 3 months. So, I'm gonna get back in the groove here. There's 6 games here. I might end up doing a second one this month, but I'm gonna do these ones in order from what I got them. The first one is, sorry, they're all retro games. I got the last one today. The first one here came from eBay. It's Wario's Woods for the Super Nintendo. Oh, I think this was $12 after tax, I believe. Or a little less. Decent deal. Label's in good shape. The back label's a little shredded, but whatever. Cartridge looks pretty good too, actually. This is for my fiance. She plays this. She played the hell out of the one on the Nintendo, so I showed her some video of this one. She wanted it. She's already beat like the 100 stages, so it's a puzzle game. We're gonna do I'm gonna get her in on a what I've been playing video this coming week, and she'll be in it for like 4 or 5 minutes because she's, like I said, a little nervous. I've talked to her about it, so I'm like, you can talk about Wario's Woods for a few minutes and then just leave the room or whatever. I'm not gonna force her to be on camera long if she doesn't want to, so yeah, she can talk about that more. It's a puzzle game that I'm not good at. Second one here is also from eBay. This is a Super Famicom game. This Mickey Magical Quest 3. This is Mickey and Donald Magical Quest 3. This game was not out on the Super Nintendo here, but they ended up putting it out on the GBA maybe like 10 years later, a little less. This is a great deal. I got bongs from the same place, and it was like a screw up on their part, but I didn't know what I was gonna get. But I think it was like $8 with $3.50 shipping or something. It was like 11 and change or something after everything was done. But it said Magical Adventure, which would have been Magical Quest, the first one, and I'm like, it's showing pictures of the third one. I'm like, that's a great deal, because even on the Super Famicom, it's not the end all be all of deals, but it's like a $25, maybe $30 game. On the on other sites or other eBay sellers. And I'm like, I'm gonna buy it now, fuck it. I'm like, because if it's the first one, if there's a screw up and it's really the first one, I wanted that one too. And that's a good price for the first one too, by a couple bucks. I'm like, if it's the third one, then that's a great deal. And then I bought it, and the person messaged me like, you want the game in the picture, right? Because they were like, I just realized I used information for the other one. I was like, yeah, I do. They're like, I'll honor the price. I was like, thanks. I mean, if they were like, I can't do it or something, I'd be like, well, whatever. I wouldn't make a stink about it, but it was awesome to get it at that price. And it's a really cool game. I got the second one in this series. I sold it at that with all those Super Nintendo games that I got a few years back. But it's pretty cool. You can use one or two. It's a 2-player game. It's a platformer. It's pretty fun. It has a good look to it as well. So I think next week, or not next week, maybe the week after. Actually, maybe in like 2 weeks, because I might pick up a couple more games for both these systems over the next few weeks. So I'll wait, and I'll do a combined Super Nintendo, Super Famicom collection. But this is a nice edition. It's in good shape too. Next 3 games I all got on a Thursday from the Video Game Trading Post in Massapequa, Sunrise Mall. Genesis Sport Games. Bulls vs. Blazers in the NBA playoffs. This is $4. Good deal. Because that's pretty much going to be cheaper than eBay too, and you get it quicker, and this is in good shape. I enjoyed the hell of this game as a kid. I started up a playoffs. I'm using Portland. I won game 1 against Golden State. Wrote the password down, but this is the last of the versus games. It was Lakers vs. Celtics, Bulls vs. Lakers, and Bulls vs. Blazers. I have all 3 of them now, and I have NBA Showdown, which they wanted to make Bulls vs. Sun, but they just called it Bulls vs. Suns, but they just called it NBA Showdown, and then EA switched it to the NBA Live series after NBA Showdown. They did the like an isometric, like on an angle view. This one's just side to side. These games are awesome. NBA Showdown has all the teams, and you can do a season. These other 3 just have the playoff teams that were in the playoffs that season, and the All-Star teams. And you can't do a season or anything. It keeps your stats for the game, but not all the stats, but I think like rebounds and blocks, like a few of them, points. And they have all certain guys have signature moves, and guys like Terry Porter can dunk from the line. A little outrageous. I think it might have been the first one. It might have been Lakers vs. Celtics, where Tom Chambers pretty much did like a triple pump jam from just inside the 3-point line. Like, it's ridiculous. Anybody who's played these games knows what I'm talking about. But this is a good one for sure. I'm a Blazers fan. Unfortunately, they lost to the Bulls in 6 that season. But I'm glad to have this. I really like the Genesis Sport Games and some Super Nintendo Sport Games as well. I like, and I want to pick up a few of those. They have a couple for cheap. They had 2 of them for $3 in the Trading Post, and another one for $5. And then I looked, because the last game I got was in the Oakdale video game store, East End Gaming today. And those $3 games are like 7 in there, so I was like, alright, I'll just grab them next time I'm at the, when I go out to help my aunt in 2 weeks. I'll just go back over there and pick up a few of the cheaper games that were there that I was looking at. This game was I think it was 5 inside the East End Gaming, which is still a great deal. But definitely cool. The other one here, the other Genesis Sport game I got was another one I loved. Me and my friends used to play it. I talked about it before. It's a FIFA International Soccer. I gotta get the sticker off this one. I was able to get the sticker off the other one. I'll mention it in a sec when I get to the last game I bought, but awesome game. Once again, it has like an isometric or whatever. I think it's isometric. They called that the view. I played this for a little bit. It was super fun. Me and my friends used to play it. I used to have the multi-tap thing with 4 controllers, play 2-on-2. But it's got like 70 international teams. They don't have real players, but I assume their numbers are the same. I don't know. But it's fun. I played it for a little bit. It's still fun. It's still fun to play. I want to get some of the later ones that came out. I think they had like 95, 96, and 97 maybe as well. But it's fun. We used to play this all the time. I was really happy to pick this up for sure. And this was $4 as well. You can see the sticker. Actually, the first one I grabbed, this one's in pretty good shape. The other one I grabbed is in the same shape, but they test the games in there. And the first one wasn't working. He's like, oh my god, are there any other ones? I was like, yeah, there is. So there was like 2 others, and this one was in the better shape of the 2. It's in pretty good shape. There's a little bit of a mark there on the top of the label, but not bad from a game that came out in '93. Definitely cool though. I love the sport games from back then a lot more than the sport games now. I still kind of like sport games now, but I don't really play them much. But, and the third game I got for the Trading Post was in a nice bag wrapper. Scooby-Doo Mystery. $5. I was kind of like waffling on this, and I'm like, I'm grabbing it. It's a side scroller. It is not like the Genesis one. The Genesis one is super expensive even for the card only, and my friend actually has it still. I'm always like, yo, give me your Scoob. We played it back in the day. That one's a point-and-click game. It's really cool. You gotta solve the mysteries point-and-click. This one is a side-scroller. It's not bad, you know, you got Velma. You gotta give you clues, you find the Velma and stuff. And it's just basic jumping platforming, and you have some weapons you can use on enemies, and they get scared. There's like a meter that goes up when they get scared. I played this when I was a kid, too. But it came this nice thing. But this game was $15 in the East End Gaming, which is really a lot higher than this. This sells for $15 on eBay too, so I was surprised to see it for $5. I actually picked this up in like 2010 from Play and Trade in Plainview. I don't think it's there anymore. I think back then it was like $3. But I'm glad I picked it up again, for sure, because it's pretty fun. The Genesis one's a lot better, but it's also, that thing completes like $150. I think card only is probably like $80, $90. If I really want to play it, I'll just borrow from my friend. Here it comes this night. They don't put the Genesis games in these plastic things. They put Super Nintendo ones, though. I guess they respect the Super Nintendo more in Genesis. That's disrespectful. The last game I got today from East End Gaming. It's another Genesis sport game. And it is NHL 94, one of my all-time favorite games. I probably mentioned it in my top games. This was $5. Now this game is cheaper. Was cheaper in the East End Gaming, and it's $8 or $9 in the video game trading posts. I kind of like, okay, which is cheaper where they, and that goes for all retro game stores, probably on Long Island. Some games are just cheaper in other places, some aren't. But I knew it was $5 in East End Gaming because the last time I was in there, when I got the Aged Under Fire in the columns, I knew it. I looked at it and I was like, ooh, that's a good deal. $5. And they still, nobody's buying sport games. I was like, nobody, like when I buy 2 sport games in the game trading post, they're probably like, oh sweet, we're getting rid of some of these sport games because no one's probably buying them. And even, in here as well, the other one as well, they're probably called bonus. It's probably bonus when they sell a sport game because, like, not a lot of people are going after them. You have to be of age to have wanted, that played them when you liked them back then. Super pumped to get this one though, because this is my favorite. Me and my friends would still play it, and back in the day we played it. I think I mentioned it. Yeah, I definitely did. The little Stanley Cup that we had, and we give it to the winner. We usually have like, four or six of us would play. It's really cool though. This one introduced one-timers into the series, and this one has the NHL and the NHLPA license. The first one only had the NHL license, and then NHLPA 93 only had the Players Association license. So in that one, the Islanders are Long Island instead of New York and stuff. And then by 95, by 94 and then onward, they both had the same license. But really happy to have this. This is an awesome game. It's so fucking good. I want to pick up 96 as well. They have 96 for $4 in the one in Massapequa. So definitely want to pick it up, but I'm happy to get this. And it's great. That's a great price. So that's how this game stores. You kind of have to. I'm in a place on Long Island where I'm lucky enough to be able to go to 6, 7 different game stores, and most of their prices all vary. So some are gonna have games for higher, some are gonna have games for lower. Like I said, this game's more expensive out here. This game's more expensive back in Massapequa, so there's no shortage of getting retro games on Long Island, which is a bonus because a lot of places, you'll have one or two in your area, but here it's like, and they're opening up more and more, which is crazy. The East End Gaming has 2 locations. Video Game Trading Post has 2 locations. The Retro Games and Toys of Long Island now has 2 locations. That's 6 right there. There's still a Play and Trade that moved from Islip to Selden. I think that's 7. There's one in Smithtown, 8. I think there's still one in Babylon as well, 9. And there's probably a few more I don't even know of. So there's supposed to be one in Bayshore too. There's probably 10 to 15 of these things. So really good if you're into retro games. But yeah, got 3 more sport games. I might do a Sega Genesis sport game collection at one point. There's a lot I'm looking at on eBay of untested Genesis games. It's a good price. That has a couple sport games in it and some other ones too. I might pick that up in a week or 2 or throw an offer on it because it was an offer. That also had this in there, but whatever. But yeah, that is the pickups from, well, those other 2 pickups came in February, actually, the first 2. And the other ones are all in the last week, so, it's cool to pick up these old Genesis games, and I love the old, the EA games always had the tall cartridges, this yellow thing here. I don't know why they did that, but, and then you get, like, some of the games they would re-release, and they would be the smaller cartridge, like Road Rash 2 had a smaller cartridge, like Urban Strike and Jungle Strike, the helicopter games, I think had smaller cartridges. I don't think Desert Strike did.